Today, I'm going to share with you my 5 favorite healthy diet hacks that are a real game changer in the kitchen, and they add nutrition and they're easy and fun and just great ways to boost your diet in an everyday kind of way. Make sure you stay tuned to the end because the fifth one is my favorite and it satisfies my sweet tooth and is a real game changer for me. So let's start with broccoli. You know it's healthy and you know you want to add more of it to your diet. But at the same time, if you're like me, it's like so, you don't want to get the steamer out every single time. You want to have just a little bit of broccoli. So what we've discovered is our fast and furious way of steaming broccoli in the microwave. So I'm going to show you how we do it. It starts with a bowl, and you also need a silicone cover and a little bit of water. And basically, we put broccoli in a glass bowl, and what we'll do is, cut it down so that they're similar in size. I'm looking for them to be roughly about this size. I think when you have them a little bit more, first of all, the pieces need to be small enough, but also if they're more uniform in size, then they cook a little bit more evenly. So you won't have some that are overly cooked. This looks pretty good. And so to this, I'm going to add, this is around a couple of cups of broccoli florets, and I'm going to add 1/4 cup of water, and then we'll cover it with the silicone mat, and I'm going to put this in the microwave for 4 minutes. And that's going to cook and it'll be ready. Now, when you're done with it, if you like your broccoli more al dente and crispy, you might want to just remove it from the bowl right away. Make sure you use pot holders because the bowl is very hot. But if you'd like it to be softer, just let it sit in that bowl for a couple minutes after it's done cooking, and you're going to have just the best soft, tender broccoli that goes perfectly. And as you can see, this is a perfect serving size for dinner tonight. Sean and I will split this, and it's delicious. So it's a great way of adding nutrition to your diet. And it also, another great thing about microwaving is it preserves the nutrients. Whereas sometimes when you're steaming broccoli in a bowl, some of those nutrients seep down into the boiling water. That doesn't happen with a microwave. So it's wonderful. The next one is jam. If you like adding a little bit of jam to your toast, or maybe a little bit on your yogurt, this is a great hack. Because if you're like me, you go to the grocery store and you look at the bowls or all those jars of jam and jelly, they all have high fructose corn syrup in it. And that's something we're trying to do less of this year, is no more high fructose corn syrup in our diet. And as a result, we like to include this blueberry chia jam. It's so delicious. I really think it adds the flavor of the whole fruit that comes through. I love it. So I'm going to show you what we do. I start with a little bit of frozen blueberries, or any berries will work here. And what I've done is let them thaw a little bit. You can see the juices coming out, and just give it a little bit of a mash. You can use a fork or a spoon, whatever works. I just like to mash them up a little bit, and you can see all that juice coming out. That's exactly what we want. So to that, we're going to add a little bit of ground chia seeds. Now, I typically, you can add up to a tablespoon. This is around a cup, so I usually add about a tablespoon per cup. And once we stir that in, that chia seed, it starts to absorb the liquid and it thickens it. And it takes several minutes for that to happen, but within a few minutes, you're ready to go. You can see how thick it becomes after a while. It's thick, just like jam. It's perfect. And then you can decide if you want, how you want to make this. You can add a little bit of the lemon zest, not too much, just a little bit. You can add a little bit of sweetener if you'd like maybe a little bit of maple syrup, a little tiny bit of, I would start out with just a little bit, and it's just, but honestly, I serve it without it, and I really like it just this way because, like I say, it really brings the flavor of the berries out. So this over like a little bit of toast and peanut butter, so delicious. Let's talk about oatmeal, because this is one of our favorite ways to start out our day, is having a bowl of warm oatmeal. It's so good. But you can boost the nutrition by adding a little bit of ground flaxseed. So I'm just going to add a tablespoon. This is some cooked oatmeal. I'm going to add a tablespoon of ground flaxseed. What I love about this is it adds omega-3s. It adds fiber, and even a little bit of plant-based protein. So that is wonderful to add to any recipe, let alone a bowl of oatmeal. And what I sometimes will do will be to add a little bit of this chia jam on top as well. So that is a great way of adding more omega-3s. If you're trying to find a way to get more flaxseed in your diet, that is a great way to do it. Talking about getting things into your diet, if you've ever heard people talk about how healthy green tea is and you want to drink more of it, but you just don't like the flavor, I am with you. I am so with you. I've tried so many times to like green tea just plain, but I also don't want to add sugar to it. And so I've been contemplating, like, how can I get more green tea in my diet? But first, I want to know if you're one of those people who actually likes green tea plain. I want to hear from you. Leave a comment because I'm curious about you. But if you are like me and you really struggle with the flavor, well, what I'll do is I'll start with my hot water and I'll add my green tea. So here I'm just using Sprouts, simple little green tea. And then what I do is I add a tea bag of my favorite herbal flavored tea. This one of my favorites is this lemon ginger, but my real favorite is a decaf chai. And what I like about adding an herbal tea is that it doesn't add any caffeine to the mixture, but it adds a whole lot of flavor. So the next thing you know, I'm drinking glass after glass of green tea and not getting any added caffeine and getting lots of extra flavor from whatever herbal tea I'm adding to it. And I mix it up based on whatever I'm in the mood for. Again, you can add a little bit of sweetener to this if you like, but I find it's fine just plain. Believe it or not, I drink plain green tea this way every day now. Thank you very much. And now it's time for my last and favorite everyday snack. I have a sweet tooth and I like something a little bit sweet in the afternoons. And so what I've discovered is I get these little rice cakes from Sprouts. I love that they're only 25 calories. And then what I do is I put a little bit of peanut butter over the top. Now what I've done is I'm using natural peanut butter, but you know, I like not using the creamy peanut butter that has all the added ingredients, but sometimes the natural is really quite runny. So what I do is I add just a little bit of peanut butter protein powder to it. You know, the peanut butter powder, that's what it is. I guess it's called peanut butter powder. And that makes it nice and thick and very easy to spread, and it doesn't run all over. It doesn't run all over the rice cake. And then what I have here is just probably about a tablespoon of chocolate chips that I've melted with a little bit of soy milk. And we just drizzle that over the top. And I now have a very delicious and healthy snack that's fairly, low in calories. It's a nice little treat that I can enjoy and satisfy my sweet tooth at the same time. Besides, there are health benefits to peanut butter and chocolate, so it's all part of the plan. So that's it for today's 5 healthy hacks that I'm happy to share with you. I would love to hear from you if you have one of these that now you're going to try, or one of these that's a favorite, or if you have your own healthy hacks. I want to hear from you. I really enjoy getting into this topic, and so if you have some favorite hacks that you have, leave a comment below. I want to hear from you. And if you like today's recipe, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more recipes coming your way every week.